If your TV sounds funny in the evening, you're watching live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice.
All right, it is live from Studio 6B on Real America's Voice, 8 o'clock on the East Coast, Monday, June 16th. Glad you're in. Hope you had a great weekend, everybody. Hope you had a great Father's Day, all the dads out there. We left Friday at the warehouse, and I don't think I even said Happy Father's Day to all the dads coming up on Sunday, so I'll say it now, a day late. Hope all the dads had a great Father's Day. Rick Delgado's here. He's got the news, and I will not forget to say he has What Even Is That coming up tonight that I just learned.
Yes.
Mr. Delgado, how are you?
I am well.
How was your weekend?
My weekend was good, considering the terrible weather we continue. 8 straight Saturdays of rain, at least here in the Northeast.
I had the heat on today.
It stinks.
I mean, it's just crazy.
It sucks. That's right, it sucks.
Watching TV outside.
It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy.
But other than
wearing
that,
sweaters and sweatpants and jeans and jackets.
Other than that, had a good weekend. Had a good weekend. Had a good Monday.
Okay, good. What's your what kind of inspiration did you find for your What Even Is That?
Oh, well, you know what? There's so much going on, David. I went with the breaking news from basically over the weekend.
Well, which one of 10 stories would that be?
Exactly. So that's your hint.
Okay. That's my hint. All right, very good.
That's your hint. Breaking news from all over the weekend.
Mr. Nolan is here. Mr. Nolan, how was your Father's Day?
It was great. I really enjoyed my Sunday morning, quiet, coffee, and I got to watch all the jackholes getting run over and hit with rubber bullets. And I'm not going to be honest. To me, it was like, remember when you were a little kid, couldn't wait for the Sunday morning cartoons?
Yeah.
That's what it felt like to me. I got to watch all the dingbats getting plugged and knocked over and covered in smoke.
I tweeted like no Kings ended up being more like no shows. Like was this a big deal?
I said on one of my tweets, it looked like the casting call to Cocoon. All it was like 80-year-old grandmas out there.
Yeah.
It was like Karen Central.
Yeah, it didn't look like it didn't look like much at all. So
LA did good, though. LA had a lot of paid protesters.
Did it?
Yeah, O'Keefe did a good job, though, getting people to talk about how much they were getting paid and whatnot. So
certainly wasn't,
there was nothing organic about it.
No. Yeah, nothing organic about it, and certainly wasn't the day that some people were warning about it, seemed to me, but I don't know. I guess I didn't look in all the toilet cities to see what was going on. But Slick's here. He's going to do sports. Slickster, how are you?
Doing good, Big D.
How was your weekend?
I was in Connecticut this weekend.
Really? What were you doing there?
I was in Newtown, Connecticut. You familiar with Newtown, Connecticut?
Yeah.
Yeah, about 30 minutes north of the ferry, yeah. We had a christening for my wife's grandnephew, I should say, yes.
Oh, very nice.
So it was very nice. Yeah, I'm up there in the old blue state there.
Yeah, well.
Get any pizza while you're there?
I did not. No, we were just, doing the family thing. Wasn't going to start particulating with the meat.
Go down to New Haven? Pizza capital of the world.
I know. That's what we were talking about. That, yeah. So
Sally's, Modern.
Yeah. I got little Vinny's over here. That's all I need.
New York's still better.
New York's the best.
New York's still better.
It's the bomb.
I mean, it depends how you like it, I guess.
Yeah, good.
The problem with New York is they're all no. They're all the same. I mean, realistically, they're all the same.
Like I said, Long Island pizza's become a race to the bottom. I mean,
yeah.
When a tiny little place is paying $9,000 a month for rent, what kind of sauce they're going to put on it? It's ragu.
Skimming the cheese has a whole new meaning now.
Live from Studio 6B. Glad you're in on a Monday. Lots to get to. Want to say hello to everyone in the chat. And again, I hope all the dads had a great Father's Day. Hope you're able to find some downtime. Boy, if you watched the U.S. Open, you had great TV. Just an absolute great Sunday of golf. I didn't see a ton of it. I saw most of the ending of it, because I was watching my daughter dance in her showcase performance for the end of the year in the Bronx, actually, I was in, at a really pretty cool theater there. And she did a great job, and her crew did a great job. But I got home in time enough to see a little bit of the end of the U.S. Open.
Old JJ with the 64-foot putt.
Boy,
of all time.
When I checked in on the scores from the performance, JJ was like 6 behind.
Ooh, that was a comeback for the ages. On the back nine?
I got home and turned it on, and he's in the lead. And I'm thinking to myself, what is going on in this round?
One of the best back nine in the history of the game. Unbelievable.
Just incredible. An incredible putt to stuff it in there. Of course, you got to see the line because what's-his-name put his ball right there, too.
Incredible.
But, the U.S. Open was good.
NBA Finals, Game 5 tonight. Series
haven't watched any of that.
Yeah, good stuff, too.
Watched the UFC a little bit on Saturday night in Atlanta, Georgia. That was pretty good.
How did you do that?
Yep.
How do you stay up that late?
Yeah, I stay up late. I don't know. I probably shouldn't because I'm always tired, but
I
stay up
can't
late.
stay up for the UFC anymore. Like
No?
like 10 o'clock at night.
You're a working man. You're up early,
That's
baby.
right.
Come on. 6 o'clock, Paul's making coffee. Working man.
It's so funny, man. 4:30 comes around so soon every day. I think I'd be used to it by
You
now.
kidding me? You forget it.
And I'll tell you what I watched most of on Saturday, which I thought was phenomenal, was President Trump's celebration of the 250th anniversary of the U.S. Army.
It was beautiful.
And I heard going in that it was going to be, this is a waste of money. This is all about Trump.
It's going to rain on his parade.
Trump's going to make it all about himself. This is an effort in self-aggrandizing. I just heard it all.
It's going to be dark. It's going to be this.
Yeah, it's going to be dark.
Lightning.
It's going to be, exactly. And man, it couldn't have been more patriotic. Well, first of all, it was almost nothing about him.
No.
It couldn't have been more patriotic. I have no idea how many people are there. I don't care. It was great to watch on television. Rav did a great job covering it.
Harry was there.
Harry on the highway was there. He had the Masters on the TV.
Yeah.
But I thought it was great. I thought it was fantastic. All of the different, just going through all the years and the different uniforms and the different equipment that they just ran you kind of through the history of the whole deal. And then they had a couple performances, and the president's speech I thought was absolutely fantastic. I mean, short, sweet, to the point, hit it on the money.
Yep.
J.D. Vance was fine, too. Him and the First Lady, obviously so elegant all the time. He presented the flag. I thought that was great. Lee Greenwood was great. I just thought it was, I don't know, there's just a bunch of haters out there, man. When I saw some of the review, people just hating on, just a bunch of haters on everything, seemingly.
Meanwhile, it was really an interesting look, like you said at the top there, at the history of the Army. Like, you don't realize all the changes and where different groups and battalions came into play and all that stuff. And you see the different uniforms throughout the year. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
That too. That was great. I like the historic look at that. But to me, I just thought it was, just the way the left frames it, the way the mainstream media frames it, that there was no one there. It looked like a girls' softball game. And, there was so many haters, like you said. And instead of celebrating what it was, all they want to do is, like, knock Trump. I saw one tweet that I thought was hysterical in response to, what's her name? Pocahontas over there.
Liz Warren.
Yeah. And someone wrote, she was complaining about the $45 million. Someone wrote back that they gave $45 million to watch ducks mate in Bora Bora, and you're worried about this? And they wrote, relax, pale feather.
That wasn't all it was cracked up to be. That's for sure.
Exactly.
I thought that was funny.
I saw the Federalist, Beth Brelia, I believe it's pronounced. She had a head. Well, I don't know. You tell me how it's pronounced. Brelje. Brelia. I think it's Brelia. She said, "It's too bad the protesters can't stop fighting Trump long enough to appreciate the army that preserves their damn freedom to protest."
Yep.
Right.
Amen.
So I thought it was great. I thought watching it was enjoyable. The performance was great. President Trump was great. Everything was great. Oh, by the way, I want to thank Rory Corbel.
Yeah, man.
One of our great viewers who sent in 5 bags of beaver nuggets. Everybody gets one here.
So I want to thank you.
Everybody's got their own bags.
Tomorrow morning when I have black toe, I just want to thank you when gout kicks in.
And he sent also, for me, and I'm not sharing, or maybe I'll share, jalapeno honey beef jerky.
Oof. Oh,
whoa! Beef jerky.
Hold on.
By
the way, this
Paul can't reach it.
This Buc-ee's their hot
Pretty
salsa is fantastic.
Yeah.
What is it? Peach salsa, the hot peach salsa. It's dynamite.
So I just love.
I never heard of this.
We just continue to get gifts, and we got this last week. I remember I showed you this.
Yeah,
this
that's beautiful.
Can't thank the audience enough for being so kind.
Yeah, thank you.
And just sending baby Damon cups.
I love the baby Damon.
Oh, my God.
That's my favorite baby so far.
Did I ever show this?
Really
I don't think I've ever showed this.
Things.
Yeah, that's when I called, what's his name, a douche, which was appropriate, by the way. I stand by every word.
On TV?
Yeah,
sure.
Oh, in that case, I'll say it.
Yeah, whatever. That's because that's what he is. So
every segment.
So I don't know. So much has happened, I feel like, since Friday in the world. I had to ask Delgado and Paul if this horrific Minnesota killing of these state representatives happened did we talk about this Friday at the warehouse? They're like, no, dummy, it happened.
No, happened after.
Happened after. I can't even
morning.
keep all the things straight that have happened, but this story is just.
There's so much misinformation
I mean,
too.
can you explain to me
It's like
why?
two different stories coming at us, right? You get one right wing version, you get a left wing version. Both teams are saying your guy did it.
That's what I can't understand. It's like the left defended the guy who killed that healthcare, like propped him up to be some kind of, like a figure to like a
Robin Hood.
Yeah, bow at his knees. I mean,
Yeah.
who cares what this guy's? This guy's a killer. I mean, this is one of the worst stories I've ever heard.
Right
Yeah, it's
on.
insane. And yeah, the way that the media tried to frame it right away, because I think they knew. They're like, oh, it's one of us. Let's blame Trump. It's just that mind thing. They have to find a way to blame Trump no matter what the facts are. Facts be damned, doesn't matter. Narrative always wins in their head is blame Trump. It's Trump's fault. It's Trump's fault.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw people more interested in whether he worked for Walz and what he was, more than actually talking about the lives that have been completely here destroyed and ruined, and the facts about the story itself. People, all they wanted to comment on was just whether he was this or that. And it's even gotten a little weirder since then. Now it's guy was wearing a silicone mask.
Oh yeah. Well, I saw that one of the first images I saw was the guy in the silicone mask. I'm like, oh, look at that. And then you find out,
Who's answering the door when that guy's there?
well, that's the thing.
Not
He
a
was,
1 o'clock in the
on
morning.
site?
he was using a flashlight.
Yeah.
Standing at the first person's door that he shot them, I think 20 some odd times between the man and his wife that both lived. I have their name somewhere. But I guess with the mask on, with his police flashlight, holding it up to the door saying, police open the door, you're going to be like, oh, geez, the police are here.
Yeah.
Right? You're not really going to look for detail. You're going to look and be like, oh, geez, the guy's right there.
Boy, I learned a long time ago.
Yeah.
Someone taught me. A cop ever knocks on your door and you're not sure, call the precinct and say, hey, you got somebody out here?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I never forgot that.
I heard
Even when
that
you
too.
get pulled over, you don't think or you think something's weird, an unmarked car.
Yep.
Just call them and say, do you have a guy here?
Yep.
They also say don't answer if somebody's saying police and they show up alone, don't answer the door. Police always, when they do these house calls, there's always supposed to be two.
But at 1:30 in the
something to keep in
morning,
mind.
I'm sure these people were probably just waking up out of a sleep and they didn't know.
Yeah.
They're elected official. She's an elected official.
Yeah,
they
yeah.
think
How
it's
about the video?
it's
How about the
official
video
business.
of her before? Really upset about the vote she cast. There's a lot to speculate on here. This is tinfoil hat neighborhood.
I saw this SOB scum killed the dog too, which that's enough. Put him in the chair and pull the switch. Somebody quick.
Shot Gilbert.
Agree with that.
13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Just getting started. More to do. We're back right after this.
Guys, what's going on with
Delgado's already
Antonio
got his
Brown?
bag open, of course. And then Aaron and Fran have a bag too. You want to run this into them?
Delgado cut 6. It's just
Look.
Delgado's sister would be in Minneapolis.
Oh my God.
Do you guys have?
Here, give this to Aaron and Fran so they have theirs.
Do you have that Antonio Brown story, Slick?
What about he was being charged for murder?
Oh my God, what's going on with
saw
that? I don't know if you open it, I'm eating it. If that opens, I'm eating. Oh, if it's not hot. I'm telling you, I am. My mouth is watering thinking about that ghost pepper hot sauce over there. Which is hotter, ghost pepper or scorpion pepper?
I don't know. They're both terrible.
I don't eat this. Looks good. Oh, that stuff is terrible.
It's like
Smell.
eating shoe leather.
Like feet. Like feet in the ass.
You're not going to try it? What's going on here?
What's yours? Ba-ba-ba. Gronard, 1985, in the Rumble chat says you're missing out on Bucky's #1 offering, which is brisket.
Oh.
My brother made a brisket yesterday.
I like brisket.
That's
I
hot.
did not know
Yep,
that.
that really burns my brisket. We missed out on that.
I don't think
My
the
brother made
brisket mails
yesterday
well.
on his big green egg.
Yeah.
It was
Yeah.
unbelievable.
Doesn't.
See, Waltz deleted all of his tweets of accolades to this killing bastard.
No.
Yeah,
Did
he went on a recovery mission.
Hey, Fran, can you resend me the cut list? I somehow lost it. I don't know what just happened to it.
Janice on Facebook. Hello. Hello,
we
everybody. Hello. Hello.
How come I've never heard of Bucky's? It's fantastic.
I know.
I know. I've only heard of the sheets.
Well,
That's what you have after you eat that jerky. The sheets.
Ron says, don't try it, Big D. Okay.
yeah, exactly. Don't try it. It's no good. You're
Just
gonna hate
resend
It's
it.
poison.
Thank you, sir.
Trump left the G7s going back to the White House. Something is going
Breaking
on.
news.
Ba-ba-da-da. 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday. Hope you had a great weekend. Glad you're in. As always, we always appreciate you giving us a few hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 10. Real America's Voice. Want to say hi to everybody in the chat. Facebook, all our friends, Barbara, Dawn, Carol, a bunch of people on Facebook watching. We always appreciate that. Hit the like, subscribe. We'll get to everything here. Sports news. Paul Nolan's got news. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. We've got a couple things we want to get to. Again, we were talking about the parade, the 250th anniversary opening parade of the Army that Trump threw, and everybody said it was going to be all about him. I thought it was enjoyable to watch. So I thought it was really good. But there is, I guess, consider this breaking news? So what's the deal here? I saw someone in the chat said it as well. Trump's leaving the G7. Is this early?
Breaking news, because these are the biggest sports, or I should say news stories, Damon, in the world.
Yeah.
And this one breaking, President Trump left the G7 conference early to return to the White House tonight. Before doing so, Trump truthed out, everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. This does not sound like an idle warning. This is, again, coming
I just heard that.
coming on the eve of course, what they've been going through over the past few days. Of course, the Iran-Israel, I guess you'd call it a conflict. Is it a war? I think they're at war. Donald Trump's, he truthed out. He said, Iran should have signed the deal I told them to sign. What a shame and a waste of human life. Simply stated, Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. I said it over and over again. Everyone should immediately evacuate Tehran. So it sounds like something big is imminent, could be happening any moment. Kind of like what happened last Wednesday when he was asked, why is everybody being asked to leave, the all-American families and service people being asked to leave the area? And he didn't say just Israel. He said the Middle East. So again, something is up, and we'll see what happens. It definitely has to do with what's going on in the Middle East. So.
Raheem Kassam, as I'm just trying to take in everything that's going on immediately here as it happens, says everyone I know in the U.S. government, which is a lot of people, is rushing back to the office right now, as is President Trump, obviously. Whatever they have planned is very big and very real. That's according to him. Yeah, so I don't know. What do you, is this like guarantee that something's happening?
It seemed, Trump doesn't rush back to D.C., to the White House for no reason. And if Raheem Kassam is saying the same thing, all the people he knows are rushing back as well. There could be something on the verge of happening. Who knows?
Yeah, maybe Maybe the old finishing touches on what Israel has started here. Is that what I guess everyone's going to assume?
Could be, or it could be that you never know. There could be an unconventional means of retaliation, chemical or biological, from Iran. We don't know.
Well,
it's all speculation.
That would certainly change the game. I can't imagine. I mean, I guess you could imagine anything, but
right now they are reporting IDF killer drones hunting targets over Tehran. So that's a new little wrinkle in this whole thing. And you know, the more and more you see about the people that they're able to, Israel's able to take out, it's almost like at will. They know where all these people are all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Does it seem like maybe they're getting help from the inside? That maybe people within Iran
think Mossad is so good. I just think there's no one better than Mossad at this.
No,
MI6 and the CIA, they're everywhere. They're everywhere.
I understand, but stuff like this for these types of people, they probably have to have some human intelligence, kind of tracking them. I mean, they built a drone factory in Iran under their nose. Again, that stuff just doesn't come in. It's got to be ushered in. Even though I heard it was brought in trucks, planes, suitcases, like the parts they kind of did it kind of shady like and brought all different parts from different ways and then brought them all here and put them all together. I don't know. It seems like they're getting help, but
yeah, I'm sure they have assets everywhere.
Yeah. So that's the breaking news, Damon. Back to you.
Okay, and everyone's trying to speculate on what's going on here, and there's a lot of well, I don't know what the word is here. I don't know.
There's a gazillion angles of opinions and propaganda. We've never seen anything like this time. You know what I mean? Like, at least during, Shock and Awe and Desert Storm, and, you got really one narrative. That was it. And everyone just bought it. Now you're getting 7 narratives, and it's just driving wedges in between everyone.
Daniel Horowitz tonight knows the area pretty well. He says, here's the key for Trump, assuming that he is getting involved, is to ensure everyone that he has no interest in any of this the day after, meaning tomorrow. So meaning go in, put the bow on what has been an extremely effective campaign from Israel, and then say goodnight. Now, is that something that you think is possible?
No.
Then people will buy?
No, I think this is designed for escalation. I think Iran's going to bomb away, give Israel a bit of a beating back. And the more murder, the more kill, the more death, the stakes get higher, and all semblance of negotiations are gone.
Yeah, but
and then the war machine gets richer. The bankers get richer, and
the problem with buying that scenario is, what's left to be done? Like the people who are just off their tree about that this is going to blow up into something else. I mean, this is a place that's been
seen it blow up into something else a bunch of times. I mean, how many trillions?
Right, but we got to talk about what we haven't. But let's talk about the situation on the ground in front of us, not what's happened in the past. The situation in front of us is this place has been. They've been totally decimated from leadership to ability to everything else.
Well, let's hope.
What are they going to do? Well, this thing seems like it's going to be over in about 5 minutes.
Listen, if you think that Iran is neutered, I'm thrilled that you think that. Because all I know is when the Iraq war started, I was a kill them all. Like I said, I want to turn it to glass. I want to steal all the oil, and I want a muscle car. I want 2 muscle cars. I want a 68 Charger, and I want it to have like 400 horsepower, and I want it to have all kinds of carburetors, and I didn't care. But it never ended. And we had spend $9 trillion in Afghanistan and Iraq? We're still paying that debt. What do we get out of it? Ungats. So if you're saying you think this is going to be the tactical, perfect precision strike, I'm all for it. Kill them, get it over with, and move on.
Right. I think that's the thing, right? Strategic limited support for this targeting to finish this thing off and take this threat away. I don't know how anybody could not be for that.
I'm okay with that, but I just know how the war machine operates. There's no stopping it. You don't think they want to spend $5 trillion? I mean, you don't think they want to show off all their new toys, blow up their other stuff, then leave the old bombs behind for
Well, that's where you have to have some trust. I think that's where you have to have some trust in the president that we currently have, don't you?
All I'm concerned about is Trump. I don't want his legacy wrecked. I love that guy. Like, I legitimately root for him like he's my uncle. And I'm afraid he's around too many bad people. I just think outside of like a handful of people he put around him, I still think there's so many bad actors who'll screw him. We watched him get screwed the first time around by Pompeo types, by Barr types, by Fauci types, all those slimy creatures that have lived amongst the mire of the swamp. I just think these people are just natural-born dirtbag animals, and I'm afraid that they're going to. I'm just afraid they'll subvert his intention, because I truly believe from the bottom of my heart that Trump is a good-hearted, compassionate, decent, loving guy who truly wants peace. And I think that the best way to derail his presidency is by just keep on stoking the flames of war. Because let's be completely honest, right? I mean, didn't half of MAGA and most of the independents vote for enough of the forever wars? I just think it's a sabotage system.
I think they did. I just don't think people can see. I don't think people see forever war in what this operation could possibly be.
Your lips to God's ears. I hope so.
All right, more about this. President Trump was in front of a microphone and its camera a little bit before. We'll talk about that, and he's put out some truths. We'll take a look at those. And we'll do news and sports all coming up.
Grows a third knee.
I mean, beef jerky's great too.
I saw I don't know if you guys saw it.
Healthy too.
Some guy made a huge shopping cart, was driving it down the road, I think in Texas, on the way to a Buc-ee.
Really?
It was a big, he was just driving like a truck.
I saw a girl on the airplane. She had a full young girl, probably like 12. She had a whole Buc-ee's sweatsuit on. Somebody goes, "I like your Buc-ee's." I go, "Oh yeah." And she was so funny. She walked out with the whole yellow and
you were
red.
upset they weren't talking to you.
Yeah, they weren't talking to me. You're right. They asked for a photo. But it's funny. She goes, "I like your Buc-ee's." I'm like, "Hey, Buc-ee's." And then I looked, and the kid was all dressed up. It's funny. So it's definitely a big brand. Not so much on the East Coast, but it's getting there.
We keep talking about it.
There's nothing really that unhealthy other than the MSG.
God, the drama of some people on X is just amazing.
How much they hate anybody who doesn't agree with them.
Just they got ground war. It's just, come on, give me a break.
To me, what's so crazy is how
ground
hateful.
war.
If you just disagree.
Howdy, chatters.
Howdy.
So wait. Do me a favor. Send me a bullet point of everything you believe, and I'll just repeat what you like, and then I won't say nothing.
That'll be a great show. They'll love it.
Yeah, right. All right. This
Say
show today is brought to you by,
pay-per-view.
Jasmine X. Jasmine X, what are your views? Okay, we're going to just repeat what you like. There's no thinking it out. I'm glad you guys are optimistic that this is going to be a quick in-out, negotiated deal. Be done with it.
Well, they don't really have much of an arm.
I'm not even convinced we're going to be doing anything more than what we've already been doing tonight, but we'll see, I guess, what the night brings.
If anything, I think they were hoping to at least run with West.
Yeah. Fox News reports that President Trump has requested that the National Security Council be in the Situation Room when he arrives at the White House later tonight from the G7 summit in Canada.
I got to stop eating this stuff.
Bucky's Broke Spoke says he collects Bucky's crushed pennies. Broke Spoke in the chat, YouTube chat. Crushed pennies.
Spoke.
I don't know what the hell that is. All right. Penny for your thoughts.
All right, I'll stop eating. Oh.
We got 1.2.
What is that, like Captain Crunch,
going to the chat. 1.2 mil. Hello, chat.
30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B on what may end up being a busy night. Here we'll see President Trump left the G7, back on his way to Washington. A lot of reports, a lot of speculation about why that is, what's going on. I'll just bring you some things as I find them. Unusual Whales on Twitter, good follow. Breaking U.S. officials confirm Middle East base forces remain in a defensive posture and that the U.S. is not participating in strikes against Iran. That's per CNN tonight.
But the Nimitz group was ordered to the area, reportedly to give the president some options in case they needed them.
Yeah. President Trump tonight on Truth, which I have over on X, speaking to Tucker Carlson, who's been obviously out there and was on with Steve Bannon for about an hour this morning on this network. And, well, I don't know. I mean, Tucker's he's obviously, I guess, more aligned with where Paul is.
Yep.
And doesn't want to see anything basically happen. I don't know that he necessarily wants Iran to have a nuclear weapon, but I couldn't tell you that for sure by listening to him. Seems like he's just all white glove, all hands off. Don't worry about what they do. It seems to me, but maybe that's not what he means either. But President Trump tonight got word that I guess some reporter said something to him, so he put out a truth. Said, somebody please explain to kooky Tucker Carlson that Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon. And then the president. Yeah,
the president.
I mean,
he trumps all.
And I guess,
Literally.
Yeah. And it's, it's a pretty simple statement. But honestly, when you listen to the over and over of all the, okay, and it's like, okay, get it. I get the history. I get what's happened in the past. I get it. So what is the alternative? Is it okay with you for them to have one? I mean, I know it sounds basic and simple.
I don't think it's that linear, man.
I know you don't, but he obviously does.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah, but haven't we heard this for 12 straight years? They're 2 weeks away. We've heard it 12 straight years. They're 2 weeks away. Netanyahu's the one who told us there were weapons of mass destruction inside of Hussein. This guy's cried wolf quite a few times. We have to believe every word he says?
Let's go to somebody who I don't think we believe cries wolf, but I don't know. Maybe.
The guy's got a 30% approval rating in his own country. I mean, we can't act like he's the end-all, be-all. We got to trust every word he says before we're going to start getting blowing everybody up.
Who, Trump?
No, Netanyahu.
Here's General Michael Flynn. I think people are fans of him. I'm not sure.
I love this guy. Let's see what he says.
All right,
I'm on his side no matter what he says.
Let's see what General Flynn says. Here we go. He was on with Bannon right after Tucker, I believe, left this morning.
China. That's what I want your audience to understand. So a couple of things. Israel is fighting their war, and we are, in fact, supporting it. And it's really protecting Western civilization from a psychotic regime that wanted nuclear weapons and was very, very close to having them. Number two, we have to allow Israel to finish the job that when it does, as it is in the midst of finishing this job, and it's going to take a little bit, it will allow the United States to fully shift to focusing on China. The third thing is a positive, this is really important, a positive U.S. relationship with an Iranian regime. So whatever the regime is that rises up out of the ashes, if we have a positive relationship with that regime, that really benefits the United States of America, particularly against China, and it weakens China. Number four, a victory by Israel. Okay, and I'm not talking about American troops and all this other stuff, but a victory by Israel. It really allows us the expansion. It allows us sort of the expansion of the Abraham Accords. Right? This is a signature Trump policy. Steve, you're very familiar with that. Signature Trump policy. So it allows an expansion of that. Number five, the defeat of Iran and stabilizing that region. Stabilizing, because Iran is the most destabilizing country in that region right now. Hamas, Houthis, Hezbollah, et cetera. They control all of Iraq right now, other than Kurdistan. So I want people to understand that. Just look at the statement that was put out by the Iraqi Prime Minister today. It's unbelievable. Number six, establishing, this victory, a victory by Israel, establishes the perception, if not the reality, of U.S. global dominance and certainly Israeli dominance in that region.
So there's General Michael Flynn on. That was just one of the segments that he had with Steve. Again, after Tucker had been there for an hour, basically arguing the complete opposite, that whatever happens there, and we should have no hand in it whatsoever. That was General Michael Flynn.
Did you watch the Tucker? I watched it, the whole thing.
I watched a lot of it. I saw a lot of the clips, and I watched a lot of it. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't really think he was a full, hands off the way you describe it. I think he was saying he just thinks it's going to be bad policy. But the way Flynn laid that out, if that all goes that quickly and that cleanly, absolutely, it's a home run.
And from what I understand, it also impacts China because China gets 90% of their oil from Iran.
Yep.
So this strictly, it really puts them in a bad position.
But let's not forget the Iranian-Russian connection. Obviously,
their new deal that was signed a few months ago, Russia said part of the deal was they're not coming to your aid militarily.
How could they?
We'll support you, but we're not coming to your aid militarily.
Yeah.
So.
One more clip on Flynn here in a second, but let's do sports right now. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. LFS6B is the promo code to use. I saw Lindell jury found him liable today, but didn't find the company liable, MyPillow, but found him personally liable to this guy. I don't know much about what that means. I did see somebody say that he could absolutely win on appeal because they thought the whole thing was, the judge down, they thought the whole thing seemed kind of rigged against him. I don't know if that's true. I obviously wasn't in the courtroom, but I did see that response. But I did see that today, that he was found liable, I believe, personally, ordered to pay $2.3 million to this guy from Dominion. But the company itself, MyPillow, was not found liable. That's my understanding of what happened today out there in Colorado. So, anyways, LFS6B is the promo code. They sponsor sports. What's going on, Slick?
Well, sports takes a big backseat to everything that's going on, Big D, but it's part of the show, so I'm going to report on it. We have a world championship of all things tonight. Game 5, Oklahoma City hosting the Indiana Pacers. Series tied at 2. Great series going on. Obviously, a pivotal Game 5. OKC favored by 9.5, so the odds makers seem to like the Thunder tonight to take that one and take a 3-2 lead back to Indiana. Game just tipped off about 2 minutes ago. I'll have score updates a little bit later in the show, or at least on my next sports segment. Let's get to golf yesterday. Big one, right, Big D? J.J. Spaun captures first major title, wins 125th U.S. Open. Mark Schleyback of ESPN. Oakmont, Pennsylvania we go. J.J. Spaun survived a terrible start and challenging elements to pull away from the pack and capture his first major championship with a 2-stroke victory in the 125th U.S. Open at Oakmont Country Club on Sunday. After birdieing the 17th hole to take a 1-stroke lead, Spaun made a 64.5 foot putt on the 18th to secure his unlikely victory and defeat Scotland's Robert McIntyre by 2. After Spawn's long putt fell on the cup, he dropped his putter, raised his arms, and gave the crowd a fist pump. He hugged caddy Mark Cairns and later embraced his wife Melody and 2 young daughters. What a Father's Day that was, right? Spaun said he didn't look at the scoreboard as he walked up to the 18th fairway because he didn't want to know if he had a 2-stroke lead. I knew based on what the crowd was saying that I felt like I 2-putted. I would probably win, Spaun said, but I didn't want to look because I didn't want to play defensive. I want to do anything dumb. I tried trying to protect the 3-putt or something like that. About 8 feet out, I kind of went up to the high side to see if it had a chance of going in, and it was like going right in. I was just in shock, disbelief that it went in, and it was over. Spaun was the only golfer to finish under par at -1 under 279. He posted a 2 over 72 on Sunday and went 3 under on the back 9. Great back 9. Spaun will collect $4.3 million. Not bad for 4 days' work, huh? For the biggest payday of his career. So great stuff there on the golf course. Big D yesterday. I know you said you checked it out earlier, but man, what a win. Now, guys, I know you've been concerned about this all year, but relax. July 4th, we'll be back to normal. Joey Chestnut to compete in Nathan's hot dog eating contest after being forced to miss the 2024 event. Chestnut's partnership with Impossible Foods was a sore spot last year. Ryan Gatos of Fox News. Joey Chestnut announced on Monday he'll return to Nathan's hot dog eating contest next month following his absence from the event back in 2024. Chestnut, who holds the competition's record for most hot dogs eaten with 76 in 2021, wrote on social media that he and the organizers of the contest found common ground of his partnerships. Chestnut's partnership with Impossible Foods caused an issue for Nathan's Famous last year, and it's kept the champion out of the competition. It just wasn't the same. It really wasn't. Come July 4th, he'll be back in Coney Island. I'm thrilled to be returning to the Nathan's Famous 4th of July hot dog eating contest. The event means the world to me. It's a cherished tradition, a celebration of American culture, and a huge part of my life, Chestnut wrote on X. While I have and continue to partner with a variety of companies, including some in the plant-based space, I guess that was the problem, man. Those relationships were never a conflict with my love for hot dogs. To be clear, Nathan's is the only hot dog company I've ever worked with. I respect that there are differences in our interpretation, but I'm grateful we have been able to find common ground. I'm excited to be back on the Coney Island stage, doing what I live to do and celebrating the 4th of July and hot dogs in my hand. Stay home. Boy, who knew hot dogs would be so political? I mean, you talk about pork barreling, right? It takes it to a whole new level. But anyway, good stuff. So, yes, Joey Chestnut will be there in Coney Island for the hot dog eating contest. Big D's going to put the game on so I can keep you up to date with the scores there in that Game 5 NBA. Big D actually forgot there was an NBA Finals. He was so busy with the United Football League all weekend, he couldn't get over this. But anyway, Big D.
How's he talking about the United Football League? What does that mean?
Oh, it was a big championship this weekend. You missed it.
Was it really?
Yeah, D.C., man. They took it to town. They destroyed Michigan. Poor Kevin. He can't recover. Anyway, that's a wrap in sports. Big D, with it's back to you, buddy.
All right. Okay, buddy. What game do you want on?
I like the NBA Finals, Game 5. Thank you very much, NBA.
I guess because you report on sports. So
yes, that would be nice.
Okay,
Indiana Pacers, Oklahoma City Thunder. There it is, right to your left. Got it.
Not because we're boring him to death.
No, never.
That's
I love
fine.
you guys. You're the best.
All right, let's do one story, Delgado, and then we'll do Flynn when we get back, and then we'll do Paul Nolan's news when we get back. What do you got going on?
All right, one quick story here is Iran asked the Gulf states to mediate the ceasefire with Israel, believe it or not. And, well, it's not really working. Tehran has asked Qatar, Saudi Arabia, and Oman to pressure U.S. President Donald Trump to use his influence. Check this out. To use his influence on Israel to agree to an immediate ceasefire, 2 Iranian and 3 regional sources told Reuters earlier today. That begs the question, now that we look back a couple weeks back there, Paul, to what was going on with President Trump and Qatar. Now Qatar has come into the equation. Was that part of this? Was this a strategic plan, you think, by Trump to say, you know what, let me get these guys over on my side of the table?
I wouldn't be surprised.
And knowing that the 60 days, knowing that Iran was not going to make a deal, kind of probably hedging his bet that they wouldn't come to the table, make a deal, and say, well, I'm going to have these players on my side. Good luck, because at 61 days, you're on your own.
I couldn't disagree with that. I mean, I'm sure Trump is, constantly trying to create allies everywhere he can. So, well, let's just see how it plays out. This, honestly, this to me, watching now Tucker Carlson and then Musk fight, I feel like I'm watching like a soap opera, like all my favorite stars are dying.
All right, we'll do some news. What even is that? Coming up top of the hour, live from Studio 6B. Right after this.
Chat, live in the chat. Chat. Let's see, who do we got here? We got Hassan Pfeffer, TJK 3746, Ordinary Passenger, John D 6307, Doc's Gal, also MAGA Patriot 63, all in the Rumble chat. Too Naughty, Drake 99, RX Lefty. A lot of cool people. Dolphin 15, 710. Surprised nobody picked up on spanking the dog as their handle yet. Wasn't that what Paul said on Friday?
Yeah.
Nobody's picked up the handle spanking the dog. Maybe that'll inspire some. Kit Kat, Danita, Conserve My Energy, C. Jules, Connie Lou, Patrick Owen Ahern, 417 Raiders. I'm talking about the Twix chat right now. College grad failures in there. Matrix Life. Damon's starting fights. Who are you starting to fight?
I don't think anybody.
Armor Brook is in there.
Let's see. John Bergen County, New Jersey. I don't think that's true.
Tree Finder. Philco. What's not true?
He said, why is Paul interrupting Damon mid-sentence? I don't think he's interrupting me, is he?
I don't think so.
No.
Nancy Burns. Danielle Gilbert. You can't even go to the bathroom without talking about Israel? Mr. AZ Mikey in the YouTube.
AZ Mikey.
Have you guys been
In the
paying attention to
YouTubes.
the basketball series?
Huh?
What's that?
Does it look like Indiana just keeps getting better as the series goes
Yeah, they're a
on?
good team, young team.
You know what it is? It's,
I gave them no chance in this series. I thought the series would be like 4-1.
Yeah, you had it 4-1.
Right, but they blew that last game, which
They
Friday
did.
night, I really thought
They were up the whole game.
it's
They
all
blew
about
right at the end.
But they're
matchups.
yeah. But this has been
Sometimes
fun.
they just don't match up well.
This is the first basketball I've watched in probably 15 years.
Like if Indiana would have played Boston, they probably wouldn't have matched up well, and Boston would have beat them.
Boston.
All right, 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, brand new week, June 16th. Glad you're in. Hope you had a nice weekend. Hope you had a nice Father's Day. Slicks Harris doing sports. Doug Otto's going to do some more news. Paul Nolan's got news coming up right now. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. And you, the live from Studio 6B audience. We're glad you're in on a Monday night, of course. So much going on. We are keeping track, obviously, as well, the president, I guess, it's going to take a couple hours for him to get back to the White House, right? So most likely we're not going to hear anything within the 2 hours of this show. But we'll see a lot of speculation about what's going on. President Trump leaves the G7 to head back to the White House. All kinds of speculation on if and how and to what extent the U.S. is going to get involved in finishing this thing off with Israel and Iran. Our guy, Josh Hammer, friend of the show, says it's interesting that the guy who defined America first is now not actually America first because he's on board with a close ally, neutralizing the nuclear program of a fanatical foe that has literally been trying to assassinate him for years. So, all right, Paul Nolan's got the news. Mr. Nolan, what else besides this is on your radar?
I thought this fell into the well category. Harvard fires star professor who fabricated data for a dishonesty study, which I
Can't even make it up.
can't make this up.
Actually, he did.
Headline.
Oh, man.
This
What a
is
stretch.
from Zero Hedge, Tyler Durden, great writer. Celebrated Harvard professor who researched why people are dishonest was fired and stripped of tenure after a probe found she fabricated data on multiple studies. Francesco Gina, a star behavioral scientist at Harvard Business School who worked and focused on why people cheat, was found to have manipulated observations in 4 studies so that her findings would support her hypothesis. This is all according to a 1,300-page report detailing the university's months-long investigation. Of note, Harvard has not revoked a professor's tenure since the 1940s, so this falls right into the, well, look who got caught cheating. So I think this is a fantastic story. again, another example of Harvard just sucking at everything they do. Another interesting, Putin warns Iranian Supreme Leader Ali Khamenei his regime's survival is at stake. Well, thanks. Thanks, Copernicus. Thanks for showing me across the universe. Russian President Vladimir Putin is warning the Supreme Leader that his regime is at stake. Israel on Friday launched air attacks on Iranian nuclear and military sites, which resulted in Iran launching airstrikes. Israel's air attacks obviously come through. After a phone call with Putin, he warned Khamenei that his regime is in danger. Trump posted on Truth Social. President Putin called this morning very nicely to wish me a happy birthday, but more importantly to talk about Iran. He knows the country very well. And so the nice thing is that Putin and Trump are talking. So let's have some diplomacy. So those are the two I wanted to get to quickly. If you want to get over to Delgado, that's fine.
All right, very good. Paul Nolan, we'll have some more news in hour 2. Slick will have more sports. Let's do some headlines, the most important headlines or the biggest headlines in the world before we do what even is that at the top of the hour. Rick Delgado's got it. News is brought to you by our friends at EternalLifeCoin.com. What's going on, Delgado?
All right. Well, there are various different directions I can go, but they're all going to lead me to one guy in particular, President Donald J. Trump. And today, Damon celebrates a decade. Yes, a decade. Exactly a decade since President Donald Trump rode down the golden escalator at Trump Tower and launched his historic presidential bid that completely upended American politics. Most of the legacy media did not take his candidacy for the Republican nomination particularly seriously at the time. After decades of flirting with a White House run, the billionaire reality TV show star was finally officially in on June 16th of 2015, giving a freewheeling speech that served notice of the media-dominating candidate of the way he would be. And a lot of times, I guess during the speech, a lot of people, even on other networks that are conservative, looked at it as there's no way he can win. Here's a take. Here's the media take on President Trump making his announcement. Here's what they said exactly 10 years ago. Probably the worst political take of all time. Cut number 5. Check this out. Cut 5.
I'm just really happy right now. A billionaire vanity candidate taking the escalator to the White House.
Hey, only losers walk.
Unconventional? Will people who love him love it? Yeah, but will it get him anywhere close to becoming the nominee or the president of the United States? I think not.
Can we stipulate for the purposes of this conversation that Donald Trump will never be president of the United States?
How do you even have a straight face right now? There are no words to describe what just happened.
Ed Rendell, do you have any doubt that this is anything more than a carnival show?
It's like I can't tell if this is politics or if this is just PR from a celebrity.
Yeah, so there you have it. The like I said, the worst
Geniuses,
media take
all of them.
from everybody, and I'm talking up and down the media landscape. They all gave Donald Trump 0.0 chance of not only winning a primary but also getting to the presidency itself. So there you have it, a 10-year celebration of the guy we call 45 and 47, President Donald J. Trump. So congratulations to him. I don't know if you saw this as well. Since he was talking about we're talking about what's going down, he's making an immediate move to get back to the White House, calling for people to be ready for him in the Situation Room when he gets there. Here is what the president had to say when talking about the Israel and Iran conflict from a reporter asking about a deal. Here's cut number 7. Check this out and listen to what the president has to say on this. Cut number 7. It's pretty quick.
Well, I hope there's going to be a deal. I think it's time for a deal, and we'll see what happens. But sometimes they have to fight it out, but we're going to see what happens. I think there's a good chance there'll be a deal.
Yeah, there you have it. I mean,
sometimes you have to fight it out.
Sometimes you have to fight it out. Maybe that's a kind of a sign that says he knows Tehran's not going to come up and make any concessions to make a deal worthwhile for anyone. So maybe they just need to be beaten into submission, so to speak, until they finally make a deal.
You mean
right?
spank
Possibly.
the dog?
Yeah, maybe spanking the dog.
If you kill all the guys saying no, eventually you're going to get to someone who says yes. Maybe that's
Yeah.
Well, let's hope.
Trump was asked about the Tucker Carlson. I don't know specifically about the interview, but I guess it was a reference to the interview. He called Trump a warmonger. Trump was asked about it today. Here's what he said.
What was your response to Tucker Carlson criticizing you, saying that you were complicit in the war?
I don't know what Tucker Carlson is saying. Let him go get a television network and say it so that people listen.
And quickly,
You gotta love him. He's priceless.
Do you have a tweet with him from the No Kings?
Yes, I have that for later.
That is just so funny.
Yep.
You should go get a television
so
network
funny.
and say it so somebody will listen. Okay, well, there you go.
Yeah, and finally, I don't know if you guys saw this. Israel striking Iran basically at will, since they own the skies over Iran, as Iranian state TV, kind of gets a live look at what's going on. Cut number 4. Here, check this out. Cut 4.
Wow, 4th of July.
It's the same thing that happens if looks like Harry wired up the studio. Yeah. Time to go to break.
Was he saying Allah Akbar?
I think so.
Oh, boy.
As they run for the toilet. Anyhow. All right.
All right, quick hour 1. What even is that coming up? Top of hour 2 when we get back right after this. I had these on. I can't hear you when I have these in.
Yeah,
so
that's why I keep warning. But I said, oh, I had that story too. Slick Rick goes, he really blew up your spot. He's so good at that.
Really good.
No,
if I start, I can't stop.
You can eat all 5 bags, please.
I probably could.
Ba 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 ba. Should have asked Josh Hammer to come on.
Isn't he in his?
I don't know if he's still there or not. Yeah.
Let's get Bannon on. He loves
he only goes on 88.
He doesn't know to call tag for the show.
We need to add 2 and a few letters for him to find us.
That guy is in front of a camera more than anybody I've ever seen.
It's like he does his work right there. Like, see his desk. His desk is a disaster.
He's on like 12 hours a day.
Yeah, he works hard.
Wow.
All right, I'll stop eating the Bucky nuts.
No, don't stop.
I have to.
No,
I gotta do my shit.
Hey, watch
the segment. What? We're in break, Damon.
Oh yeah.
I can say shiznick.
Did you say cackadoodoo earlier?
He did.
Hey, Damon, what was that story from the Federalist again? I don't think I did a story what story from the Federalist? Oh, the only story from the Federalist was the 5 reasons the Army's birthday parade was money well spent by Beth Brelge.
That's the one.
5 reasons the Army's, I think it's on our socials. 5 reasons the Army's birthday parade was money well spent. I didn't even get the 5 reasons. You want to know what the 5 reasons are?
All right.
No, just go read it. It's good.
Well, have you guys ever seen the movie The 10 Commandments?
Duh.
I haven't seen it since I was a kid. I watched it this weekend, and Mel Brooks ruined it for me. The end. All I can see was Mel Brooks. I bring you these 15. These 10. Because that movie was epic.
Did you see they're doing the Spaceballs too?
Yeah, I heard. That was a great movie. And Mel Brooks, man, wrecked it. My wife and I, she's grinning. I'm like, you think what I'm thinking right now? She's like, yeah.
The Inquisition.
What a show.
What a show.
We know you're wishing.
All right, hour two, live from Studio 6B on a Monday, June 16th. Glad you're in. Real America's Voice. Slick's going to do some more sports coming up. Delgado's got headline news, most important headlines in the universe, or whatever the hell he calls it. Paul Nolan's going to have news as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down as always. Harry on the Highway is not in the studio, so the studio should not blow up like that one did.
We won't have to run for the toilets and hide?
I don't think so. Right, but that could be what happens when Harry wires up your studio. Kind of looks the same. That's pretty epic footage, by the way.
It really is.
That is pretty epic footage. Talk about needing to go to break, man. All right, we'll get to a lot in hour two. We'll continue to track, although I don't think we'll see anything in this hour about what exactly is going on. President Trump leaves the G7. A lot of speculation about what's going on, what the involvement of the U.S. is going to be. Is that actually what it is? A lot of people speculating a lot of things online. Probably not a great idea.
Like what?
Joel Pollack, though, from Breitbart, says possible reasons for Trump to rush to the Situation Room. Number one, U.S. is joining the war. This is what people assume. 2, Israel is striking aggressively. They were already. 3, specific intel on a new Iranian threat to maybe the U.S. or Israel. 4, specific version of number 3, Iran has gone nuclear. Is it possible that they already had nuclear capabilities and nobody knew it? I guess is what he means there. He says, I don't know.
Well, keep in mind, he did kind of allude to people should evacuate Tehran tonight.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty ominous.
Yeah, he didn't allude. He flat out said it.
Okay, he said it.
So, all right, well, we'll get back to all of that in sports and news. But right now, time for one of my new favorite segments here on the show. And that, of course, is Rick Delgado with What Even Is That?
All right, Damon. Well, thank you.
You're welcome so much.
Yeah, well, it's been a good weekend. But just when you thought the week for Democrats couldn't get any worse for them or better for us, well, I have just 3 words for you.
All right.
That's right. Or as my esteemed colleague Paul Nolan would say,
Exactly. Well.
Of course, exactly. Well. Because this weekend, really, the left really exposed themselves like never before. Like some MAGA magician cast a spell. And alakazam!
Come on.
Liberals, with the help from their friends in the media, just went full Rosie.
All right. Yeah. You're weird.
Yeah, she went full Rosie, all right. Yep, and as if you couldn't hate the mainstream media enough, just listen to how they described the week that started out with riots not really disguised as peaceful protests.
And turn what is just a bunch of people having fun watching cars burn into a massive confrontation and altercation between officers and
it ends
demonstrators.
On an even lower note for the American-hating left, with more riots, again, not disguised as peaceful protests, with rioters even attacking law enforcement.
While this person, place, noun, or thing, or whatever the hell it is, attacks a cop and ends up getting swept by the leg. My God, and nearly put in a body bag.
Yes, as you can see, the police were not having it.
Yes, in the face.
That's right, in the face. Oh, it's just a flesh wound there, little guy. Put some dirt on it and walk it off, you friend-zone beta male. But don't worry, because mentally challenged liberal Democrats probably also think that this type of behavior, yes, there you go, is not only going to get them votes and supporters, but will also help them bring back, that now coveted white male vote. Oh, look, here's one now. Check him out. There's a white male voter. Just can't wait to vote Democrat, can he? Wait, up. Wrong way, big guy. There you go. Oops, there you go. Welcome back. And the craziness shows no signs of slowing down. Even on Father's Day weekend, where dads all over and and of all kinds should have enjoyed a relaxing day to be celebrated for all they do, the liberal left wants none of that.
You gotta run out. No, please don't kill me. Don't kill me.
Don't kill me.
I'm human.
Yes, all they want is destruction of themselves, the nuclear family.
Talk about getting trucked.
And of course,
don't kill me.
To help
out of the way, stupid.
To help sow chaos.
You guys make a good point, but my producers tell me to distract people with chaos so they don't notice who's actually starting World War III.
Right, Paul? I mean, we saw all of this all weekend around the entire country. Just a smorgasbord of stupid that only the left could conjure up. There you go. And oh, what a charmer she is, right, boys?
Wow.
Yeah. Right around now, everybody out there in TV land is getting a glimpse of the future of that weird lady as she becomes the weird, lonely cat lady that's going to live down the block or on your street in the future. But it's not only from the fringe left of the people in the public as you see them walking by. Oh, no, this lunacy is also right here in our local, state, and sadly, our federal government. Seriously, I don't even know which dude is real. And don't complain. I don't want to see the emails. I don't want anybody complaining that I misgendered or misidentified, whatever this is. Because there it is. I can't misgender this thing if I don't even know what even is that.
It's the Grand Marsha.
That, my friends, is supposedly a sitting member of Congress. Maybe she should consider sitting like this because she's definitely not one of the lovable Three Stooges. My apologies to Mo for this one. But between what we see coming from the wacko loser left on a regular basis and now from this past weekend, including Father's Day, I think it's safe to say, now that we have a real president in charge, this country, its communities big and small, all around the great nation, can take comfort knowing that what we saw the previous 4 years during the Biden administration is a thing of the past and thankfully has been put out to pasture. Now, when you do see him, he might look like this, walking around, yelling, talking to himself, or ranting at some random inanimate objects in a park somewhere. There he is, Joe.
That's great.
Way to go, Joe.
Induced anxiety help. That's the booth?
Yeah.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Yeah.
Sure, they tried to disrupt a great weekend with their No Kings marches, right? But from the looks of these people, they might actually need more of these types of activities, to
like
get their steps in.
Off the list.
Because from what I see right now, they do love themselves some King, as long as they can supersize it. Speaking of supersized, Damon Gnome.
Yeah, what?
Back to you.
Oh.
Yeah, come on, give me that cigar.
Hold the pickles.
That's good right there. All right, Rick Delgado, what even is that on a Monday night?
Nicely done.
Man, that was good.
Nicely
Thank
done.
you.
Nicely done.
DC
Very well
Drano, Roger O'Hanley, I believe, on Twitter tonight. Now, I disagreed with him almost on every tweet he put out when it came to the debt ceiling and the big, beautiful bill. And people wrote me, how could you disagree? Roger is great. Blah, 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 blah. He says tonight, friendly reminder, Donald Trump is not George Bush. He's the exact opposite of a neocon warmonger class that dragged us into forever wars. And he called them out many times over the years. If Trump says something needs to be done, then it probably needs to be done.
That's comforting.
So that's from DC Drano tonight, about 3 minutes ago on X. So I don't know where people stand on him now, but that's his take on this.
Now, what is he referring to? What needs to get done?
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess if he feels like we need to drop a couple bunker buster bombs that Israel doesn't have to finish the job, then he feels like they need to finish the job. I would think that's what he's referring to, but I don't know.
Sounds to me like what he's thinking of. I mean, he's not George Bush, so let's hope he's right. Let's hope, right? Let's hope that this is going to be like you guys said at the beginning of the shows, tactical strikes, in, out, like Wisconsin. It's no big deal. It's just like stripes, like they ran into Czechoslovakia and out. And let's hope it's over in no time.
Charlie Kirk says Trump was elected for moments like this. And again, we don't know exactly what the moment's going to be, but we'll see. We'll keep an eye out the rest of this hour. President Trump on his way back to the White House, supposedly right to the Situation Room when he gets back to Washington, D.C. tonight. That's the word. All right, let's do some sports right now, and then we'll do some news when we get back. Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell and MyPillow. Slick's got it. What's going on, Slickster?
All right, Big D, NBA Game 5 Finals. Here we go. We had series tied at 2 with OKC and Indiana, and right now the Thunder lead 32-22, again, at the end of the first quarter, so plenty of time there left, but boy, Thunder have come out strong, looking good there, so we'll see. Pivotal Game 5 tonight. Whoever wins that may have the upper hand here, especially going into Indiana in a Game 6. Tomorrow night, Oilers and Panthers, Stanley Cup Game 6. Right now, Florida with a 3-2 lead, and boy, they almost look unbeatable after the other night. I watched that game, and it's going to be tough to knock out Florida. Florida looking for a trip back to the White House would be nice to see the president, and obviously that'd be great stuff. So, and I get a couple other quick stories, if I may, Big D. Well, talk about letting pride get in the way. Disgusting Mets fans furious after pride display during national anthem. Dylan Gwynn of Breitbart. Yeah, the Mets are having a great season. They go do something stupid on Flag Day, no less. Mets fans are voicing their discontent after their team showed the pride flag during the playing of the national anthem Friday night. Just before their game against the Tampa Bay Rays, as fans stood for the playing of the national anthem, spectators expecting to see the stars and stripes on the Jumbotron were instead shown the pride flag. Unbelievable.
Oh, boy, the Flag Day, on Flag Day.
On Flag Day.
They missed one concert.
Well, it was Friday night, so it was, well, it said Friday, but it actually was Saturday, right, that game? So, yeah, so it didn't take long for fans the next to express their anger, especially since the incident occurred on Flag Day. So, getting into the story a little bit more, the fans absolutely lost their mind, and all MLB teams that hold LGBTQ plus events during Pride Month, except for the Texas Rangers. However, this is a first as far as a team displaying the pride flag during the national anthem, which really took it one step further in, of all places, Queens, right? But yeah, unbelievable. I couldn't believe that story. Just out of control.
Did you see what else they did?
No.
They had two guys making out on the kiss cam.
Oh, you got to be kidding me!
Seriously.
I mean, it just knows no boundaries, really. To see that in a game and like you said, on Flag Day. I know the story was you said Friday night, but it was Saturday.
Did you say Flag Day?
Yeah, Flag Day.
Yeah, one consonant off.
Yeah. Unbelievable. So, what are you going to do? And, well, that's pretty much a wrap in sports. Big D, again, getting into the second quarter now of that NBA Finals game, 32-22. Indiana right now trailing OKC. OKC at home looking to take a commanding 3-2 lead.
All right, 13 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More to do on a Monday. We get back right after this.
To the YouTube chat, Big D. Super chat from M Harp, $2. Thank you, M Harp, $2. No comment, but thank you just the same. We appreciate you. Thank you for the super chat. We appreciate all the super chats. Drag Blacker coming in with $10. Here you go, Paul. I'm tired of conservatives going insane. Anything Trump does, any little thing military-wise, it is his first term, too. The right screeched in his first term, too. The right screeched out like harpies when Trump launched the MOAB and called him a sellout. Drag Blacker with the quick $10. Thank you, Drag Blacker.
What do you think about this, Paul? Seth Mendel tonight says, whatever you think about U.S. intervention, let's be clear on one thing if it happens. The U.S. dropping a large bomb over skies with no air defense, which are patrolled by an allied air force, is not, quote unquote, how we got into Iraq. Some things are different from other things. What do you think about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely different, but, I just still think we were, fear-mongered into, a massive, never-ending war, which led to 9 trillion and countless deaths of American, patriots. So I don't know. I'm just trying to be all Trump all the time because I really don't want his legacy wrecked in any way. I really want this to be the greatest presidency ever.
Yeah.
I just feel like America's at stake, and I just think his success is our children's success.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
I just don't see where the facts lead anyone to believe this is anything more than like 5 minutes.
Well, because there's a lot of intelligence people say that Iran doesn't have nuclear weapons, and they're not close. There's tons of voices saying that in other media. So, and like people in intelligence, but who knows? I mean, I'm just so used to the war machine getting what it wants, the bankers getting what they want. All wars are bankers' wars. And I just, I'm just in the mindset that the American people are going to get screwed into $1 gazillion of debt again.
M. Harp in the super chat, another $2. I love the Superman ensemble, Slick. I guess he was at the movies yesterday, huh?
Is there another Superman movie?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard there's another Toy Story coming out.
Yeah.
I don't know.
A Mission Implausible. I heard that was good, too.
I still haven't gone to see that yet.
Mission Impossible.
I was going to try the other night.
See the making that Tom Cruise broke his ankle on the sickest stunt. It's a wild man.
That was like 3 movies ago when he jumped the building to building and came up short.
Oh, also about the one he did on the plane where he was dangling on the side of the plane. Didn't he?
All right, 17 past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Sound Like the Blues. We're days away from what's been dubbed the Rio Reset. We've been talking about it here, the greatest threat to the U.S. dollar's global dominance in over 80 years. On July 6th, BRICS nations, Russia, China, India, and Iran, or many more, are expected. Iran may be short in the people they can send there, but we'll see. They're expected to unveil their plans to circumvent the U.S. dollar, thus cratering its value. They've already been laying the groundwork as their central banks have been methodically divesting from the U.S. dollar and U.S. bonds in favor of gold. How can you protect your IRA or 401k from the fallout from this landmark shift? Well, diversify with gold from the Birch Gold Group. Historically, gold has been a safe haven in times of high uncertainty, which, of course, right now certainly qualifies as that. Get a free information kit on tax-sheltered gold IRAs by texting the word America to the number 989898. July 6th marks a monumental shift happening among nations that control 1/3 of the world's GDP. Arm yourself with information to diversify your retirement savings. Text America to the number 989898 and claim your free information kit from our friends over at Birch Gold. Text America to the number 989898. 18 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Couple quick things I want to get to. I see a lot of people saying they just can't believe this is Trump's position. Just surprised, the whole Tucker Carlson angle. Just want to remind everybody, Fayetteville, North Carolina, back, I don't know the date on this, but it wasn't too long before the election. So less than a year ago. Here was Trump talking to Anna Paulina Luna on stage.
It only takes like a half a question, usually can't answer it, but they asked him, what do you think about Iran? Would you hit Iran? And he goes, as long as they don't hit the nuclear stuff. That's the thing you want to hit, right? I said, I think he's got that one wrong. Isn't that what you're supposed to hit? I mean, it's the biggest risk we have. Nuclear weapons, the power of nuclear weapons, the power of weaponry. You know, I rebuilt the entire military, jets, everything. I built it, including nuclear, and I hated to build the nuclear, but I got to know firsthand the power of that stuff, and I'll tell you what, we have to be totally prepared. We have to be absolutely prepared. But when they asked him that question, the answer should have been, hit the nuclear first and worry about the rest later. And that's what they should. That's what if they're going to do it. If they're going to do it, they're going to do it. But we'll find out whatever their plans are. But it only takes like a half
so
a
there you go.
Obviously, so this is coming.
I'm not sure what people are surprised about.
Just the News is reporting that the Pentagon said the U.S. vows it's maintaining a defensive posture as Trump assembles his National Security Council. This is from Misty Severi. It just came in 15 minutes ago. Pentagon spokesman Sean Parnell on Monday night claimed on social media that the United States is not looking to enter a war with Iran and will retain a defensive posture in the region. Trump, who spent the day in Canada for the G7 summit, will return to the White House Monday, and we know he's going to be part of that Security Council. So, look, maybe everyone's just overreacting. Maybe everyone's overreacting because we're in debt. We're thinking America first, get the nation back on its feet, get the economy going again. I think everyone's just tired of the trillions being spent, so everyone's kind of shell-shocked, I suppose. But if this is going to be Trump, he's always been anti-war for the most part, and he's got this under control. Let's see how it plays out, I guess.
Here's General Flynn with Steve Bannon talking about exactly, because a lot of, actually Paul was just talking with me in the break, that there's a lot of, what'd you say, not scientists, but experts, researchers who believe that they really weren't as close as some people say.
Yeah, there's been 12. If I watched the thing where it's 12 years of them saying they're 2 weeks, a month away, sort of thing. So right. It's, And
I said last week that I wasn't sure if putting an actual number on it was the thing that everyone, at least I think Israel, was concerned about. I think they were concerned about the fact that as things move slowly, they could certainly try to keep track of what was actually happening, and once it starts to move too fast where they just can't keep track of it, that's when it becomes somewhat of a problem. But here's Michael Flynn on with Steve Bannon today.
So, first of all, I want people to understand is Iran was probably days away from matching the capabilities from ballistic missile capabilities with a nuclear uranium-enriched warhead. Okay, days away. If they were in that period, since we've all been talking about this, Steve, for a long time, we have a psychotic regime, and most of whom their leadership has been taken out. And I posted this morning that I have reports that the Ayatollah may have been wounded in one of those strikes. So that's out there. So we have a psychotic regime that has not only talked about the annihilation of the nation state of Israel, but also talked about how we, as the great Satan, need to be annihilated from the planet. So these are psychotic leaders. I have video now that has been sent to me from inside of Iran that has showed the people of Iran celebrating this attack by the Israelis. Iran cannot have a nuclear weapon, period. Now, back to your bigger question about, was this a unilateral effort? I think that whoever's using those words needs to really rethink those and be very careful about who's using them. If it's the Israeli regime if it's the Israelis that are using it, then, we have to be suspect, because if we're providing intelligence, and we are, not implied, but specifically involved in supporting the attack itself. So there's a broader regional conflict that is playing out right now. The other part that I did not add in this morning that I think people need to be aware of, because I'm going to be carrying this later today or tomorrow, is what's China's role? Because the Chinese are the biggest beneficiary right now of what is happening globally, specifically in the region of the Middle East, because of their One Belt initiative. And they have massive amounts of resources that flow into Africa, flow into Europe, and flow back through the Persian Gulf and back through Iran. So China is a big beneficiary. And for President Trump recently to have cut a deal with Xi, where I guess he's going to continue to allow Chinese students that are into our universities who are ripping us off every single day of intellectual property and going back We spend $10 billion on a weapon system. They spend $100.
Yeah. So I mean, the point was really the first part of it, where I mean, again, and I don't know how you quantify any of this. People say months. He literally says days. So
yeah, I mean, we don't know. I guess the end. Listen, what do we know? We're a bunch of guys just sitting around eating Buc-ee's. But like, let's be real about it. I mean, if there is actual intelligence that says that they're that close, well, when they're done with Israel, they're coming for who? Us. Every Christian on the planet is next. So, how do you argue with that? But like, the thing is, I just don't trust the intelligence agencies anymore. But we are, we just have to trust Trump, and that's what we voted for. It's really all there is to it.
Yeah. All right, 24 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. Boy, the speculation is just wild online tonight. This is going to be a nightmare for the next 48 hours, I'm seeing. Israel deserves no more money. I mean, we don't even know what's exactly happening right now.
Let me ask you a question. Let's just say it does come down to U.S. money. How many trillions would you say we budget to it? 3 trillion, 5 trillion? What's the trillions?
I don't think they need our money. Don't they have enough?
I know, but we'd be giving them $50 billion a year for how many years? Just because.
No, if anything, it'd be in the form of military aid.
Yeah, like how much? Like, what's the number? I mean, America's
a few
broke.
$100 billion, maybe.
We're broke.
Bonchi, Trump's rapid response accounts are spamming videos of him saying Iran can have a nuclear weapon over the last years. The one I just played is one of them. Something is up. Daniel Greenfield, President Trump is not fracturing his base. He's fracturing the influencer base. But those people aren't for him. They're making money off MAGA and then making money off turning on MAGA. They make it both ways. There's a lot of feelings out there tonight about what's going on. We'll continue to track it all. 26 past the hour, live from Studio 6B. More news with Delgado right after this.
I really want someone to read
Love your spot.
No, that was good.
That story.
I love that truth he sent out with the No Kings. It's just brilliant. I hope he wrote that too.
Going on in the chat? Anything going on in the chat? Oh.
You guys know who Nick Sorter is?
Mm-hmm.
Sorter.
I should have known. He really grilled Jamie Raskin this weekend. You see that?
No.
He gave him the business. It was fantastic. I mean, Raskin is such a tool.
New York Times tonight reports Trump is weighing whether to help Israel destroy the nuclear enrichment facility at Fordo, which only American bunker busters can reach. So there you go. If I had to take a wild guess, I'd say that's what it is. They're looking to finish this last one off. Certainly seems like it.
I thought it was an interesting point. It's dividing the influencers.
Can I just hear this audio here?
If the U.S. decided to strike Iran directly, even if U.S. forces have not been attacked, in order to try to actually eliminate the plant at Fordo and Natanz?
I mean, I would like to see Iran's nuclear capability to be completely disarmed. It is a tough problem. You would have to hit those facilities, the underground facilities, with GBU-57s. The massive ordnance penetrator. It's a 5,000-pound weapon. The Israelis, not only do they not have the weapon, they don't have the ability to deliver it, even if they did have it. at this point. So, Anderson, this is a complicated problem. I think it's going to be hard. Even once you try to strike something that's underground, they can rebuild it. My view on this is ultimately, if you wanted to completely eliminate the ability for them to get to someday down the line, get to a nuclear weapon, you'd have to remove the uranium-235, the uranium hexafluoride gas, which is what you
All right, 30 minutes past the hour, live from Studio 6B, Real America's Voice on a Monday night. Slick's going to do some more sports. Delgado's going to do more news. Paul Nolan's got a couple more headlines as well. Aaron and Fran holding it down, as always, on a Monday night. Glad you're in. Please welcome back to the show the Director of Epigenics at the Wellness Company. That's Dr. Ben Tapper. Dr. Tapper, how are you?
I'm doing great. How are you guys?
Very good. Always nice to have you on. Thanks for a few moments. Is there a deadly parasite that's coming to the country, and haven't we been trying to keep these things out of the country? What can you tell us about this?
Well, I mean, I have to be careful with this because I feel like there's always a fear-mongering campaign being pushed. Parasites are kind of the hot topic right now, and I'm thankful that we're talking about this because, parasites are a bigger issue than what we're led to believe. And so, yes, I do think that parasites have always been around, but really, I think they're just getting the attention that they deserve.
So specifically to this, looking in my notes, this New World screw worm, can you tell us about this? Is this something that we're supposed to be worried about or should be worried about, or what should we know?
Well, first of all, this parasite has been around. They say it's been eradicated, but I believe that this parasite is nothing's new under the sun. I mean, the Bible tells us that, and I don't think there's anything to fear here. But again, I think parasites are a big issue. And you have to ask yourself why that is. And it's because, the whole nature in parasites, they attack vulnerabilities, they exploit vulnerabilities. And right now, the American people are sick. We have more chronic disease than ever before. And parasites come to the issue here, not because we're well, but because we are sick. And they prey on the vulnerable when our immune systems are weak. And again, we have more chronic disease than ever before. And you have to ask yourself, why are these parasites coming to these people, and why are they preying on the sick? And it's because we have poor lifestyle, and 80% of Americans are suffering with chronic disease than ever before. And it's a lot like how the flies attack the trash, and it's no different.
Has the I don't know. I mean, I think most people, if you ask them, and you ever talk about this with your doctor, the medical establishment seems to have completely avoid or not even talk about this, kind of taking their eye off the ball. Would you have an opinion on why that is?
Well, absolutely. It's because you have to address the cause, and that's the lifestyle. There are methods of getting rid of these parasites, absolutely, and I do recommend that. But again, you have to address the bigger issue here, because why do we have parasites? It's usually not the cause of disease, but it's usually an underlying systemic issue that's at hand here, and that's addressing lifestyle choices. And there's no money in addressing lifestyle, and that's why we're not talking about it in the allopathic medical world here. And so that's my opinion, because, and again, they're not taught to address the cause. They're there to address symptomatology, and it's there to, a lot of these medications and these drugs in the allopathic world, they address the symptoms and not the cause of disease.
So you said there, I heard you say that there is ways and you would recommend. What would you recommend? Well, the Wellness Company has a phenomenal heavy hitter. The ivermectin and the Menben is a combo, which is a very, very powerful combo to eradicate parasites. And look at during COVID, ivermectin was a therapeutic that was helping a lot of people during COVID at the time, and it's an anti-parasitic medication. It's a heavy hitter. Same with hydroxychloroquine. So I would recommend that. If you do take that, I also recommend maybe taking like a charcoal binder, some other things that kind of help, because when parasites die, they will literally poop out metals or other toxins, and so taking those binders can help. But it is a very, very powerful anti-parasitic medication that will absolutely get rid of parasites in the body. And once you do take that, I recommend getting, focus on good lifestyle choices. We must eat well, we must move well and think well, and we can be well. We're speaking with Dr. Ben Tapper from the Wellness Company. You can go to twc.health/voice, twc.health/voice. Finally, let me ask you, Secretary Kennedy recently fired 17 members of a powerful vaccine advisory committee. Give me your thoughts on that. Good move, I'm assuming you think?
Absolutely, it's a good move. You know, we have to, if I was in charge, I would just eradicate the ACIP. The Advisory Committee for Immunization Practices has a history of nothing but, favoring private interest. They've been censoring and gaslighting, poor parents of vaccine injury. They have, I can show you study after study where they have been shown to be neglecting the truth and true science. So I am super happy with that move, firing these 17 people from the ACIP. Now it all depends on who we are replacing them with. So my vote is to just eradicate the ACIP. I don't think we need another governing board here with immunization practices. I think it needs to be eradicated. But again, I think maybe this is Bobby's strategic way of getting in and infiltrating the system and maybe exposing a lot of the corruption, because he is doing a good job at that. So I pray that this continues on, and I pray that we have more good news from Bobby's team.
twc.health/voice. You can visit the Wellness Company if you're interested in any of their great kits, products. Check them out, twc.health/voice. Promo code VOICE to save an additional 10% at checkout. Dr. Ben Tapper, Director of Epigenics over at the Wellness Company. Always appreciate a few moments. Thanks so much.
Yeah, thank you, guys. God
All right,
bless.
there you go. 35 past the hour. Dr. Ben Tapper, live from Studio 6B. Let's do some news, headline news, and that's Rick Delgado's got it. What's going on, Delgado?
Stories in the world, Damon. Get the pronunciation right on the title. I appreciate that.
What did I say?
I don't know, but it wasn't what I just said. The man suspected of shooting and killing a Minnesota lawmaker and her husband, as well as shooting and wounding a second lawmaker and his wife, and he also killed their dog. Stalked his victims like prey, according to U.S. Attorney for the District of Minnesota, Joseph Thompson said, and shot them in cold blood. His crimes are the stuff of nightmares, Thompson said at a news conference as he outlined the chilling details. Of course, you may have already heard of this by now, but Vance Bolter, 57, is accused of killing Democrat Minnesota State Rep Melissa Hortman and her husband Mark, and wounding Democratic State Senator John Hoffman and his wife Yvette in political assassinations, Thompson said. Bolter allegedly showed up at the doors in the middle of the night impersonating a police officer and wearing a realistic-looking mask, officials said, noting the two other lawmakers were spared the night of the shootings because I guess he went to another house, a third house, but those lawmakers were already out of the town. They went on vacation. Here's the FBI doing a press conference on the Minnesota murder of Representative Hortman. This is cut number 3. Check this out, cut number 3.
Belter approached Representative Hortman's home, again dressed as a police officer, wearing the tactical vest and body armor, and wearing that hyper-realistic mask. He was armed and carrying a flashlight. Before he entered the home, 2 Brooklyn Park police officers arrived at the scene. They too had been dispatched to check on Representative Hortman after learning of the shooting of Senator Hoffman. When they arrived at the scene, they saw Belter's black SUV parked in the driveway with the emergency lights flashing, and they saw Belter standing in front of the house several feet from the door. When Belter saw the officers get out of the car, he drew his weapon and began firing. He rushed into the house through the front door, firing into it. He repeatedly fired into the house, and when he entered, he murdered Representative Hortman and her husband, Mark. The Brooklyn Park police officers fired at Belter as he rushed into the home, but he escaped into the home and out the back.
Yeah, so there you have it. He was arrested overnight over the weekend near a farm in Green Island, Minnesota, facing federal charges that also include stalking and firearm charges. State charges including first-degree murder. Bolter allegedly had firearms and a list of 45 other elected officials in his notebooks in his car that they found. He also had flyers for the No Kings protest. He allegedly surveilled the homes of his victims, took notes, Thompson said, in a search of the home in Minneapolis where he had lived. The authorities seized a list of other public officials and noted that under Melissa Hortman's name, reading married, marked 2 children, 11 terms. So he was stalking these people. He knew what they were up to. And again, I don't know if you saw the video. I didn't pull it for this, but Representative Hortman, Melissa Hortman, she had recently voted against extending what do you call it?
Yeah, money for illegals.
Money for illegals against the other Democrats. And she was upset by placing her vote, but she felt that it was the right thing to do. Some people think it has to do something with that.
Does that story just seem strange? The 2 cops pull up to the car. He's still outside. It hasn't even gone in yet. And
yeah, it does seem
all of that transpires the way you just read it?
The way he described it, I can see that happening, yeah.
Escaped through the back door? Nobody covered the back?
Well, again, you've got 2 officers pulling up to the house. They only went to do a check on this particular representative. I guess her name popped up. Did they think he was
a real cop when they got there, though?
Maybe they thought he was a real cop. They said his car had its flashers on. It was in the driveway, and he was standing at the door.
How could 2 of them not get to him quick enough to kill him, though?
Well, you're pulling up. There's a guy at the door. As you get out, the guy opens fire on you.
Yeah.
Of course, you're going to duck, right?
Yeah.
And then you still got to draw your weapon. And that time, he's pushing his way into the house, and he shoots the 2 people inside.
Oh, no, that's. Oof. I mean, obviously.
What's a really strange part of this whole thing? I don't know if you guys saw this, but his wife, Vance Butler's wife, the man, of course, that they were looking for, they also put out a bolo on his wife. They were surveilling her. And she was actually detained, along with 3 relatives, by law enforcement more than 100 miles from her house late morning after the shooting. Law enforcement partners in the metro area working with the case became aware she was traveling through my county, according to the Sheriff Burton. Talking about Bolter's wife, Jenny Bolter, Burton said the stop occurred between 10:30 and 11 outside of the convenience store. Deputies in the office responded with law enforcement. She was pulled over. They checked her car. She had $10,000 in cash, passports for her and her family members, guns and ammo also in the car. So I don't know what this is about. I don't know what this is about Jenny Bolter, but it sounds like, well,
definitely not a camping trip.
Yeah, definitely not a camping trip. Maybe she was aware of what he was up to. It was like, they're on to him. I better get out of here and take everybody with me.
I mean, I'm just asking because I don't know. I guess you can. Obviously, you can. You don't think the cops pulling up knew that car wasn't a cop car? It was that good?
I don't know. It's at night.
I don't know.
He had a
security guy.
From what I understand, he had the. I guess he had the tactical uniform on. He had a car that matched, I guess, a police type vehicle,
like an undercover black Ford Explorer type of car. That's what it was.
Boy, I tell you, I'd be lying if I told you that didn't seem all strange to me. It does. The whole thing, how that went down, the way you described it, seems awfully weird. But that's just me.
I don't know.
What else, Delgado? Anything right now?
Right now, in terms of this case here, of course, he is being held, I believe it's on $15 million bail, much less than President Trump was held for some misdemeanors in the state of New York.
Was he charged with first degree? I thought I saw someone say it was only second degree.
Yeah, he was charged with second-degree murder, that it wasn't premeditated.
Yeah.
Somehow they made a determination, and again, this is, you're talking about a blue state, that somehow that stalking, going to somebody's house, making sure they're there, and knowing all these details about
having a manifesto list.
Yeah, before you put bullets into it.
No premeditation there at all.
It doesn't constitute being premeditated.
Something seems...
This whole thing is...
MK Ultra.
All right, we'll wrap it up when we get back live from Studio 6B. That's just so terrible. Bizarre.
is.
It's the goddamn greatest thing ever created.
Watch your mouth. It's a family show here.
Come on, now.
Bucky's Beaver Nuts. Gotta love them.
That's a travel.
I don't know what's a travel and what's not.
No, it's a Euro step. He stepped through 3 continents.
He needs to buy a ticket for that many steps.
It's a Euro step. Sweden, France.
Right. I don't know what the heck I'm looking at sometimes. Looks like guys take 4 steps.
The series is over. It's over. Indiana's done.
Tied 2-2. What are you talking about?
It's over.
Oh,
Neil, relax.
So,
he's got great things.
did Harry have breaking news before? Harry sent something? He had breaking news?
Yeah, breaking news from 2 days ago.
Oh.
No Kings rally starting. I send a couple of those over. I can't stop. And
Good morning, Paul.
Harry just sent this over.
Paul needs some Bucky Nuts.
Cracker Jack reporter.
So I'm seeing in the chat that the reason he wasn't indicted on first 3 murders is that has to happen in front of a grand jury, and that hasn't happened yet.
Oh,
okay.
There you go.
those are too good.
They are good.
They are good, right? Get yourself some of them Bucky Nuts there, Paul.
But it has a bioengineered food product in it.
I know.
He's on his way back to
Right,
Max.
this is completely chemically engineered, right?
It's it.
Yeah, but it's made with love.
Is it over or under 12 ingredients?
Hey, David, where's your at?
Cornmeal, corn syrup. What could possibly go wrong with cornmeal?
Oh, my
Nothing.
God. This is poison.
Monoglycerides, Paul. Get your monoglycerides. I tell you, soybean lecithin. The more I eat, lecithin I get. That's for sure. Those are good.
Oh, yeah.
All right, can it.
All right, let's yucca this mother.
No, don't do it.
Let's see.
Oh,
Put the bag down, fat ass. You don't need it. That's what it says. No.
That was polite.
Notify your next of kin.
What would you like in your will?
Did you do it yet?
No,
No, she's telling him to get
the internet here.
He said, "Get the buck out of here." I said, "Buck, easy at home there."
Come on, this thing.
Oh, hold on, YouTube chat. Ah!
About 13 to the hour, live from Studio 6B. I'm trying to get the Yucca app to scan the Bucky Nuts here and see what the deal is. I'm sure it's not good, but we're going to see anyway. So while I'm doing this, let's do our final sports and get around to the guys for news. We'll start with Slick. Slick Sports is brought to you by Mike Lindell. My Pillow. Slick, what's going on?
All right, Big D, let's get to the scores right now. NBA Finals at the half. Oklahoma City in full control, up by 14 there, leading 59-45. This series is tied at 2 games. Very pivotal game 5, as I've said all night. Winner of this game could be the linchpin there. OKC looking good. So unless Indiana has some major three-pointers and goes on a big run here, it looks like OKC may walk away with that game. And NHL Stanley Cup Finals will have Game 6 tomorrow night. We'll be reporting on that at 8 p.m. from Florida. Florida looking to wrap it up and win the Stanley Cup in the United States, in Florida, and they'll be repeat champions there, so pretty cool. Baseball scores, we'll get to the Diamond quick. Angels and Yankees, no score. Bottom of the 10th, no score. How about that for a pitcher's duel, huh? I guess Aaron Judge is continuing to hit well. Rays 7-1 over the Orioles, top of the 9th. Top of the first, Red Sox lead the Mariners 1-0. Earlier today, Phillies down the Marlins 5-2. Rockies over the Nationals 6-4. Astros taking on the A's at 10:05, and Padres out in L.A. to meet the Dodgers at 10:10 p.m. One quick story. How about this no-hitter here? Arkansas baseball star pitches historic no-hitter in College World Series. Wood had bid for a perfect game in the 8th inning until hitting a batter in the foot. Jackson Austin of Fox News. University of Arkansas baseball star Gage Wood pitched just the third no-hitter in College World Series history and first in 65 years on Monday, striking out a record 19 against Murray State to protect the team's 3-0 victory. Wood joined Jim Erla of Texas in 1950 and Jim Wixon of Oklahoma State in 1960 as the only pitchers to throw College World Series no-hitters. The junior only had two 3-ball counts as 83 of his 119 pitches were strikes. So unbelievable there for Arkansas. We'll continue to follow the College World Series as it moves along, Big D, and also give you a report on the NBA Finals tomorrow night as well as tracking the NHL Finals.
Yeah.
And that's Rapping Sports. Back to you.
All right, Slick, very good. Before I get to Paul Nolan's news here, let me just give a report on the Yuka app. We have now officially Yuka the Buc-ee's.
Yuka, forget about this.
Beaver Nuggets. And as I told you, my wife introduced me to the Yuka app, and we ran around, and things that are bad are usually like in the 30s, 20s.
Yeah, from bad.
Out of 100. Oh. If you're in the 20s or 30s, it's a red. No, you buy this.
This is a 150.
Alternative that's better for you.
75 to 100 is considered excellent.
Yeah. The Beaver Nuggets from Buc-ee's comes in at 0.
Whoa!
0.
Maybe they didn't rate it. Maybe they just didn't rate it yet.
0.
0.
Contains additives to avoid. High risk.
Oh, yeah. This is poison.
Oh, wow.
Sugar, 14 grams. Sodium, 190 milligrams. Calories, 130 calories. That's per serving, not per bag.
By the way, there's some crybaby.
Per handful.
Oh, my God. Delgado. That
Concrete blocks scored a 5.
Contains a bioengineered food ingredient.
Yeah, they say you're calling it the wrong name. Some crybaby saying they're Beaver Nuts, not Nuggets. It says Nuggets on here.
It says Nuggets.
It says Nuggets on their packaging.
Right.
But okay, good. Got it.
Paul
Nolan, what else is on your
nuts out there?
I call them Beaver Nuts.
What else is on your news radar?
The only thing I really wanted to mention was that Tim Waltz deleted every single tweet he had about this alleged killer. And, this is the guy who also said recently, we need to be more aggressive with the right. We have to, this is the guy who incites hate. So that's really it. We kind of covered everything I had. But he had some choice positive tweets about this guy Bolter, and now he's deleted them all.
Yeah, not a surprise. All right, very good. Rick Delgado, let's do your last headlines that you have here tonight. What do you got?
All right. I don't know if you saw
Can
this.
you stop chomping on the Buc-ee's?
Yes.
The Yuka app says they're a 0 out of 100. 0.
0.0.
Now,
I know.
The buck stops here.
I looked like you. You could afford to eat some, but still.
I needed 1 or 2, but that's about it.
1 or 2?
Anyhow, I don't know if you saw this.
I'm in hammer over here.
Handfuls.
2 bags.
I don't know if you saw this, but this is cut number 6. Pay attention to this as it plays. There doesn't have to be any audio on it. Aaron, I don't know if I told you that or not, but if you read the ticker, start it over so I can let everybody know to read the ticker now. Check this out. CNN put this up on their news report. A mile-wide underwater volcano is ready to erupt.
To blow its top off the West Coast.
Yes. Scientists predict one of the Pacific Ocean's lesser known volcanoes will blow its vent in the coming months, causing 10,000 earthquakes.
Okay.
Is that a lot?
In one day.
Bad?
Yes.
Wow.
Is that bad? Is this
that could be considered bad. Okay. And it's amazing that nobody is actually talking about it as things are heating up. The volcano is known as Axial Seamount. It's located about 1 mile underwater on a geological hotspot where searing gushes of molten rock rise from Earth's mantle into the crust.
It's a geological hotspot.
You're a geological whatever. Anyhow.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
This could be something that we should probably be paying attention to. I don't know.
Oh, for sure, yeah.
But, just something to keep in the back of your head, especially if you're out there on the West Coast. This could be something that affects you. Again, they're predicting this could go off any time now in the next couple months.
Okay,
and
we should get Harry on the highway right out there.
Yes,
up to 10,000 earthquakes. Lastly,
would Harry cover this, you think? I think he would.
Absolutely.
If he gets an ant time, he'll do it.
Harry and the Rear Admiral on the water.
If you haven't watched Harry's walkthrough of the control room from Saturday's parade, you should watch it on whatever socials you could find that on. It's pretty good. Pretty good. All right, go ahead, Delgado.
Anyhow, of course, we know the
blast. What else you got?
The No Kings protests that happened over the weekend. This is picture number one as President Trump thanks the protesters for the No Kings protests, of course. He sent this out. A huge thank you to all of the No Kings protesters yesterday. I was very concerned. A king was trying to take my place, but thanks to your tireless efforts, I'm still your president. Great job, all.
Yeah.
He's the best. It's just so clever.
If that is real, I'm not sure if that is real, believe it or not. Some are saying it might not be real.
He wasn't trolling perfectly.
But he may be retruthing it anyway, just because it's so awesome.
Oh, okay.
And lastly, from the No Kings protests, here's a woman confronting one of these protesters walking to a protest. Cut number 2. Check this out as she completely lets him have it. Cut 2.
Look, this one's got to catch up to the rest of them. Got his sign ready already. Look, another privileged-ass white man. Look, another privileged-ass white man who wants illegals, especially illegal criminals in the country. Oh, look at the ponytail. What, no man bun? You didn't have time to put your hair up, sweetie? Loser!
It's so great when black people make fun of a white man.
You're not winning that.
Their heads, boom.
You didn't have a chance to put your hair up, sweetie. That is my...
no man bun.
That is the line that kills it.
That's why I don't want anyone who I wanted your clips to come rolling through.
That kills it for me. So there you have it, Damon. Just a little, geological news, followed up by some protesting news.
Yeah.
Okay.
Put a nice
look
bow
like
on
they're
it
ready to
for
blow.
Yeah, put a nice bow on that bun.
All right, as always, we salute our military, active and active, police, firefighters, first responders, EMTs, everybody on the front lines protecting us. Thanks, guys, on the show. Aaron, Fran, great job as always. Most of all, thank you to Live from Studio 6B audience. We'll see where we are 24 hours from now. We'll be back 8 p.m. tomorrow night, live from Studio 6B right here at Real America's Voice. We'll see you then.